So thank you for speaking to Arabian Reseller and Security Review. We would like to start with a brief about your participation at the event.
So the event is huge. It's very important for us. We've been here last year, and we are very, very happy to be here today. This is a very important event for us.
Okay. In terms of your participation, what sort of products and solutions you're focusing on?
So last year in October 2022, we've launched our new exposure management platform called Tenable One. And then this year, obviously, this is a very important subject because we are sharing and explaining to our customers and partners this new platform around the exposure management.
Okay. When you look at the security threat landscape over the past couple of years, what sort of major changes have you seen? What sort of new threats have evolved?
So Tenable, as an exposure management company, we used to have, obviously, we have a security research. We have researchers which are looking after vulnerabilities all the time. And every year, at that period of time, we are publishing what we call the threat landscape report.
Okay.
The goal is to understand what's happened the year before in 2022, but the focus is really around looking ahead in 2023.
Okay.
Back to your question, the threat landscape, the way it evolved in 2022 is obviously the ransomwares are still number one, representing roughly 35% of the attack globally.
Okay.
It's quite sustained, it's quite flat, but we've seen as well much more DDoS attacks. We've seen as well phishing coming back.
Okay.
And we've seen a very important new element, which is what we call extortion only.
Okay.
Wipers instead of encryption.
Okay.
Instead of encrypting the data, now, we could call it ransomware, still ransomwares, but the attackers, what they do is they exfiltrate the data and wipe it.
Okay.
So you don't have to be able to recover. Okay. That is something we've seen roughly mid-2022, at the beginning of 2022, and we've seen a lot of attackers and groups, and one of them is Lapsus, for example, that attacked many organizations worldwide that began to use that technology. And we've seen that we are thinking that in 2023 we will see more and more that.
Okay. So over the past, since you've been in the event, you must have spoken to a lot of customers and CIOs as well. What sort of challenges are they facing in terms of security threats, and how is your company helping them, face those challenges?
So one of the main challenge is to have siloed approach. We, Tenable, can help them in many scopes, on OT, on identity, on the cloud, on vulnerability management. But they ask us, and that's also why we've done that platform, to be able to bring everything together. Not only having the capacity to detect vulnerabilities or misconfiguration in one part of the attack surface, but also being able to have the holistic view. That's one element.
Okay.
The second element is really helping them to be having a better risk-based approach. They have a lot to manage. So to reduce the complexity and then reducing the capacity and reducing the complexity and having a better scope management. Okay. The best would be for them to have a risk-based approach. So that's very two elements they ask to us.
Okay. Talking about your strategies for this region for the remainder of the year, what sort of key points do you have in mind? Maybe new markets, new channel partners onboarding. What sort of plans do you have?
So we have a double strategy. Keep in mind that Tenable has also on-prem solutions. Okay. So we continue to invest a lot in our on-prem solutions because we know that in this specific region, the cloud is not yet completely available. Okay. So we have a very important strategy around our on-prem solution. In the meantime, this year particularly, customers began to ask us, how can you help me to this cloud transformation? Because they will go there, locally or globally or whatever, but they will go there. So we have a cloud security solution that can help them transitioning part of their business to the cloud. So what is important is that we really want to be able to have that very hybrid approach, which is on-prem and to the cloud.
Okay, and one thing is about identifying new markets. Have you identified any new markets that has evolved better than existing markets in this region?
So the DevOps is really something that we're looking after. Within the cloud
Okay.
journey,
Okay.
developers are are a key element within the chain of developing new business application.
Okay.
If I take one example, last week there have been an attack targeting a developer,
Okay.
which was working from home. It was using a technology that has not been patched for the past roughly 3 years, because we, Tenable, have in fact published that vulnerability in 2020. It was
Okay.
around the Plex framework.
Okay.
If we combine the three together, this is a very, very good example. Someone working from home within the DevOps pipeline, and obviously using a technology that was not patched.
No.
And then the attackers took that as an opportunity for compromising this organization.
Okay. Thanks a lot for having. It was nice having you with us today.
Yep.
And great conversation. And we look forward to speaking to you again in the future as well.
Thank you, it was a pleasure.